What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing tonight's game between the Chicago Bulls and Brooklyn Nets. And of course, if you've seen any video like this in the past, this is my Bulls report. Now, the Bulls are coming off of back-to-back losses versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, and one of those losses being a heartbreaker in which after the game we've heard all these 2-minute reports. Oh, Jared Allen traveled. Donovan Mitchell wasn't supposed to. He did a lane violation, and so on and so on and so forth. Whether the case may be, the Bulls are coming off of 2 losses to the Cavs, and now they're facing one of the hottest teams in the NBA, being the Brooklyn Nets. Of course, the usual suspects: Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Ben Simmons, Nick Claxton, and the list goes on and on and on. They are playing great basketball as a collective unit. Now, the Bulls, are nothing to sneeze at. I mean, their record isn't what it could be or what a lot of us think it should be at this stage of the season. But again, you have a collective of Vucevic, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Ayo Dosunmu, Patrick Williams, all capable enough to get the job done in any given game. So as far as tonight was concerned, of course, I have a few of my notes, and the game pretty much started with Kyrie Irving coming out and getting a bucket at the first few minutes of the game. But what I liked on the other end is Patrick Williams started looking for his shot and looking for it early. And that's one thing I noticed about Billy Donovan, is that he opens the game up, allowing Patrick Williams to be involved early. So that's one bright spot that I definitely saw. You also saw Zach LaVine being aggressive and getting to the line, and Chicago's defense was ramping up their offense. They were getting deflections and steals, but a problem that I knew which was going to happen was the play of Kevin Durant. I knew he was going to be able to get to his spots, and I knew he was going to be able to take advantage of the matchup regardless who Chicago had on him, and he was doing that early and often. You also seen DeMar DeRozan getting his offense going early. Williams' 3 was one of the main bright spots of the first quarter, and Chicago as a whole. We all know they're not a 3-point shooting team. So tonight was something that, kind of struck a chord with me, that, okay, when possible, they can make threes. You started seeing, again, Patrick Williams looking for his offense early, but Kevin Durant had a big first quarter. Now, when Billy Donovan decided to go to the bench, you seen Alex Caruso come in, give up some good minutes. Vucevic was doing what I always elect them to do versus smaller teams. Gave him the ball in the paint. So he took advantage of that, whether it was Claxton, whether it was Durant. Sometimes I even seen like Royce O'Neal or Kyrie guarding him. Ben Simmons, he took advantage of every matchup that the Brooklyn Nets threw at him tonight. And for sure, that's one thing that I appreciated. As far as one bad spot that happened early on in the game was Alex Caruso. He did sprain his ankle early in the game, and he did not return. I don't know the severity of the injury, but of course I will be, mentioning that in my next video. You did see Chicago go inside, outside a lot, and they did put up a 40-point first quarter. They did end up leading by 7 after 1, 33-40. You seen good bench minutes by the Bulls in the second. The Bulls end up going up by 11 in the second quarter, but you did see something that was a problem in the Cleveland game start to rear its ugly head, and that's Brooklyn started getting to the started getting to the free throw line. And that was something that was a problem in the previous matchup versus the Cavs, like I said. But I wasn't worried. The Bulls ended up, going up by 14. You seen Zach LaVine 3 started to fall in the second. But Kevin Durant kept the Nets in this basketball game. Bulls ended up being up by 10 at the half, 69-59. But the third was key. The Bulls started going on dry spells. And by dry spells, I mean it just looked like the offense was discombobulated. I don't know if IO or I don't know what was going on. It just seemed like the offense just didn't have any legs beneath them in tonight's matchup. And I don't know whether to pinpoint that on the coach or execution. You seen IO did get the first basket for the Bulls in the third. Vooch kept going inside, and Williams just picked up where he left off. Now, as far as the rest of the game, now the Bulls went up as much as 18 in tonight's matchup. Again, they know how to get the lead, but keeping the lead is something that the Chicago Bulls struggle with. And I don't know, again, if it's coaching or if it's execution. You know, like being able to execute when you have the lead and being able to put teams away early when you have the lead is something that the Bulls have to do more of. They have to do more of, okay, if we're up big, let's just keep the gas pedal. Let's put the pedal to the metal, so to speak, and find a way to win the game by more than what we lead by. You know, I mean, understandable. Kyrie did have a good game, but when you're playing a team like Brooklyn, you know the door or window for opportunity is always open with these guys. They have the players that's able to get it done. The third quarter for the Chicago Bulls, they only scored 19 points. That was a problem because I thought right then and there, I'm saying to myself, here we go again. Here we go again. But what I will say is thankfully, the Bulls have a closer. You know, in the fourth quarter, it just looked like, okay, Kevin Durant was trying his best to bring the Nets closer and closer. So was Kyrie. Seth Curry had a really big game. But ultimately, I feel like having the inside presence of a Vucevic, having a Patrick Williams, you know, and DeMar DeRozan able to close the game, so to speak. The Bulls ultimately won tonight's matchup, 121-112. Of course, everybody is going to talk about how the Brooklyn Nets win streak of 12 games is over, but the Bulls finally move up into, you know, the 10th place in the East, which puts them somewhere in the play-in tournament, you know, talks. Now being 17-21, listen. At this stage of the season and how the Bulls have been inconsistent, I was watching the game. I'm calling them the cardiac kids because I'm like, man, it never fails where they, you know, just leave you on the edge of your seat while you watching them play, whether good or bad. But let me get into the box scores. Tonight you seen a big game from Kevin Durant. He had 44 points, 4 rebounds. He went 5 of 10 from 3, 5 assists. You seen Kyrie Irving with 8 assists, 4 rebounds, 25 points. He did only go 1 of 8 from 3. You also seen Seth Curry come off the bench with 22 points, 6 of 7 from 3, 8 of 11 from the field. And, I mean, other than that, Ben Simmons did have 7 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. You see Nick Claxton with 11 points and 6 rebounds. But on the Bulls side, I feel like it was well... what's the word I want to say? It was even. You know, it was good. You had a good mix. You know, you had a good mix of this guy and that guy. Let me explain. So we all know Patrick Williams went 6 of 8 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3 with 22 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Listen, one of his best performances this year. DeRozan didn't shoot so well. He had 8 of 20, 22 points. He didn't make a 3, but he did have 7 rebounds and 3 assists. You seen Vucevic with a double-double, 8 of 12, 13 rebounds, 21 points, 3 assists. Zach LaVine didn't shoot fairly well tonight. He did go 4 of 11, 1 of 4 from 3, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 13 points. Ayo Dosunmu with some big minutes, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 1 of 3 from 3, 7 of 14 from the field. Big minutes from Kobe off the bench. He went 2 of 4 from 3 with 10 points. Jones Jr. came off the bench in the absence of Andre Drummond. No Dalen Terry tonight. Alex Caruso did get injured. I'm hoping it's not something that will linger on for most, for the upcoming weeks of the season. But ultimately, the Bulls did win tonight, which is all that matters. Again, man, this team is something that I can see where the glaring holes is at. And I think it's all because they don't have a legitimate point guard to get these guys in the spots that they need to be in to be most effective. Dry spots and dry spells, 3, 4, almost 5 minutes without scoring can't happen if you want to be considered in the upper echelon of the conference. Now, the Brooklyn Nets have lost to the Chicago Bulls already twice this year. The Chicago Bulls play really, really well against, the teams that's above them in the conference. So that's a bright spot to hang your hat on. So hopefully the Bulls can build upon this win. They're coming up on a tenacious schedule in the next week, I believe. Because Friday is they do play Philly. They do play the Sixers in Philadelphia. Then that's a back-to-back, which they play the Jazz. And then they follow that up with the Boston Celtics. So the next 3 definitely is going to be a test. We'll see how everything pans out. Of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell to know anytime a video is being uploaded to this channel. Bulls fans, Brooklyn Nets fans, NBA fans, or if you just tuned into this channel, don't forget to comment down below. I would love to hear from you guys. This is Astronaut H. It's the What More Do You Want Network, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.